Hi folks, welcome back to the last episode on Holme Wold. So we have run 3 years on here now, and it is time to end things. Price for oats and canola is good, so we're going to get those sold first off. I'm not keeping, I did say I was going to keep the oats and the wheat for feeding the cows, but I'm going to get them sold off because we have a lot of debt to see what we can make a dent into. We also have the beets and beans, which I'm going to harvest in this episode today, which might mean it's a bit longer than some of the other ones. I have one of the 790s over in field 75, which is our smaller bean field, doing the first harvest over there. We have field 55 and 54, which are the two big fields, one of beets and one of beans, and field 83, which is a smaller beet field. All of that is going to go today. We're going to sell the beets straight off the field. The bakery, for some reason, wants a whole shed load of sugar beets, so we're going to get those sold there, because that's a nice convenient location for us. The bakery also want lots of oats and lots of canola, it would seem, so they're going to be paying us a lot of money today, hopefully. It's quite a few days later. I've skipped forward a few days to get to the point where those crops are ready to harvest. That means we have a lot more cows, and we've had nearly 50 calves in that time. We are getting milk produced, so the farm is we're gonna leave the farm in a really good state. I just didn't want to carry this series on as FS22 drops, so I'm going to try and squeeze this video out this weekend, which means we might have a double day, or I might drop this really early on Monday morning. Who knows? So we're just going to take these oats and canola down to the bakery, and then we'll get stuck into the harvest. We're going to be leasing a bunch of beet harvesting machines. Not sure how many, maybe something like 4. We'd like to run those two big fields in parallel, but I don't know if my laptop will survive that, so we will see. So we'll put both of the combines into the big field of beans to get those done fairly swiftly. A fairly awful job of reversing that in. So one of my least favourite bits of doing so many animals on seasons is when you have to skip lots of days, because it just gets a bit repetitive. Let's see what we're going to get for a trailer of oats, and then I think we're going to get into the time-lapse stuff, because this is going to have a lot. This is going to have a lot of gameplay in today to try and get through this. Probably a lot of jump cuts and stuff. So, just as a reminder, we have a £1.2 million loan as well, so we'd like to get most of that paid off if we can. It's looking good. It's looking good. So, because I stopped it halfway through, £130,000. So we have 2 trailerfuls of oats pretty much to sell, and I think about 2 of canola, and we're going to get about the same from each of those. So that's going to get $500,000-ish, which is awesome. We then have all the beets to sell, and we've got a load of other stuff we're sitting on. So, time lapse time. I'll be doing a commentary so you'll know what's going on, and future me will be with you in a second. Like all the other videos I've released recently this week, this is very future me. In fact, this is even more future me, because I edited this video, did the render, recorded the commentary, and while I was tidying up all of my video editing stuff in Resolve ahead of FS22 coming out, I deleted the edit for this video. So this is edit number 2. Yep, so that's why it's been a while since we've ended this series up. Last episode on Holme Wold, wrapping this up as we move into FS22. So just selling off some of the canola now, watching the bank balance rocket up, because that's £150,000 per trailer load, which is really nice. Definitely worth holding on to your crops in FS19 seasons. Just checking the maize silage is ready as well. Not that we're going to get around to opening it up. But I'm assuming it's going to be the same in FS22, that it's much better to sell your crops at peak price rather than when you harvest them, because you're going to make a lot more money. And FS22, people are saying how hard the economy is, but how many people are holding on to their crops until they are the right time to sell makes a big difference. back to this video, leasing a couple of the Holme sugar beet harvesters to get stuck into this first small sugar beet field. Two of them should make quite short work of this. We then have the much larger sugar beet field to get harvested. I was always intending, and I can't remember I said it in the first video, to do a big potato harvest on here as a flashback to the one bit of multiplayer that I've done, which was with Angry Dad Adam, who used to stream on Twitch but doesn't at the moment. And we planted one of the big fields. They set about 3 big fields on here with potatoes, but we never got around to harvesting them. We did it all with the 6-meter base game potato plant. It took a long time. Anyway, so first emptying of these. Good old Courseplay doing its job and parking itself in the middle of the field for me to unload. And you can see one of the ARs running back there from the canola field, which is also still being harvested. There's not much left of that canola field, I don't think, to go. Just riding along as Auto Drive does a really nice job of emptying the trailer for us. So this video is wrapping up this series, obviously, and basically getting the 2 canola fields harvested and the 2 beet fields. The sugar beets are being sold straight off the field. Price is okay and not worth storing. So we made about $500,000 from the canola and the oats, and now we're going to start selling the sugar beets and see what we can make off of these 2 fields. Make about £30,000 depending on the how the price varies a little bit for each one that we sell. Almost done on here, just trying to keep things moving along. Actually, the 2 beet harvesters work really well with me carting with the lorry. You will see later that plan has to change. So, first harvester done. The second harvester is just finishing up its last row. And the bank balance is up to £750,000. We have a £1.2 million loan on here that I'm hoping we can pay off before we end this episode to leave this farm in a really nice position for its future owner. Obviously, we have a large-ish herd of cows which have started to produce calves and therefore milk, so that's going to really beef up the income of the farm, which is nice. And we have something like 500 sheep, most of which are in lamb, so it would be a very good spring on here. So just running this last line with the combine in the smaller soybean field, I think we got about 150,000 litres of beans off of here. I'm not going to be selling those this episode because they obviously peak in price in late spring, summertime, so we'll just kind of make a guess at their value at the end when we see how much we have harvested. There's a good price for them is about 2,200 per 1,000 litres. So just getting both of the combines set up on Courseplay for the big soybean field, and we're going to run Auto Drive to cart on here so that I can focus on keeping the sugar beet harvesters going. We're going to run both in parallel. Pray for my laptop, everyone. Let's get the 2 ARs over to the field. Because soybean is quite a low yielding crop, I'm pretty sure they can make it through Headland without us worrying about getting set up. And it does look nice running this pair of combines on this map. The other good news, the creator of this map has already started converting it to FS22. So we may come back here. Whether it will get terra-lifed is unlikely unless the map creator wants to do it himself, but we can certainly should be able to run Maize Plus in FS22 on here. So we may come back and try and recreate this farm and continue on. Who knows, that might be quite a cool thing to do. Obviously things will be different because we run seasons light in FS22. Who knows what the future will bring. Anyway, let's get Auto Drive up and running on these 2, and we can leave that to work hopefully on its own. Got the 2 beet harvesters going on Courseplay. I decided that 2 would be enough. It takes about 2 hours of real time to harvest that field, but where we are financially, I didn't want to take the hit of leasing another 2, so 2 beet harvesters it is, and plenty of time. So my plan was to run the lorry around the field carting as we did on the previous field. You will have probably seen from the thumbnail that doesn't quite work out. We'll get to that. Combine's just finishing up the headlands and getting on to their up-down rows and emptying on the move with auto drive and courseplay working together brilliantly. God, I can't wait for those to come to FS22. Enhanced AI or whatever it's called is not auto drive. So this is the problem we have. I forgot how steep this field was. With a loaded trailer, which is very heavy, it's hard work getting up that hill. Anyway, we made it up, so let's run and sell this full trailer load, and then we need to get straight back to the field because the harvesters are still full. Yeah, but time to start making some more money. This is the first trailer load full we got off of that field. So, and again, you can see about the same amount in the trailer and completely stuck. I could not get up the hill, so we've dropped it off the back. We're getting the JCB and we're getting the dolly. This thing has another 150 horsepower and some fat ass tires on it. Let's see if this can get it up the hill, and then we're going to need to come up with a plan B. But first we need to recover the trailer, and we're holding up the harvest getting this sorted as well. But yeah, we can not too fast, but we are at least moving up the hill. So we'll get this on the flat, get it hooked back up to the truck, and then work out what we're going to do to keep this harvest moving. And what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to get a Holme Terra variant delivered with the beet harvesting auger that can go on the back. Very nice of the shop to deliver it instantly to us on the farm. Yeah, I know. Never used this guy before in this form. I have used this vehicle once before, way back on Sandy Bay when I used it to spread digestate. It's not in FS22. I guess the closest we've got is the class, I've forgotten the name. The class that came with the pre-order, which has got the slurry tanks and stuff which goes on the back, and I suspect we might see some more add-ons for that coming. Yeah, the capacity of this is not huge, but it's enough to keep us going. Almost done with the soybean harvest. In fact, the other combine is done, and this combine has one row left to go. So that will be soybeans done on Holme Wold until it maybe comes to FS22. I really hope it does, because I love this map and I would definitely play it on FS22 if it makes it there. Yeah, there's something about this map captured my imagination. So getting the last of the soybeans tipped into the silo for the future farm owner can sell those off and make a hefty chunk of profit. We got a lot of soybeans off that because this is the second AR with a mostly full trailer, I think. I didn't look, I could have looked at the vehicle inspector mod, but yeah, so we've got 240,000 litres of beans in the silo, which is about £500,000. So yeah, we're pretty good for paying off our loan, I think, longer term. So it's nice to have the potential of ending this series debt free. Because the Holme was struggling to keep up with the other two Holmes, I jumped in the JCB with one of the trailers and tried to take the pressure off it and keep things moving along, and it meant that I can sell some crop as we go. The lorry ran out almost of diesel. I almost did an Adam, and also needs a service, which might have helped with getting up those hills. Annoying to have to service the truck right at the end, but what can you do? But just keep you moving, churning through this field. So let's have a think back about Holme Wold. We started this series with the One Tractor Challenge with console only mods and the 1.8 RT from custom modding, because it had the front loader as well, and we had the pickup and we had the skid steer, and that was it. We might have had the TLX semi as well, I think. and we had the one combine. And we did 2 years like that, running the farm as an arable farm, and made a decent amount of money. And then in the third final year, which this is, the farming agency released the update to Maize Plus, and I had had enough of playing the one tractor challenge, so we turned this into a full-on Maize Plus series. Brought some sheep, brought some cows, and yeah, have run the farm since then. Got the cows to the point and where they are producing carbs and milk, and we have a whole load of cow feed stored up, and we should end the series without any debt and in a really good place to go forwards, and for the new owner to make a load of money. Beet harvest done. I didn't keep track of how many sugar beets we harvested, but you know, we have sold about £300,000 worth of sugar beets, so it gives you an idea that it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. We don't have precision farming on here, which would have made it easy to tell, which is something that I'll be using in the future when it comes to FS22. So let's just sell this last half trailer load of beets. This bakery has brought a lot of sugar beet. I don't know what they're doing with it. I'm pretty sure it's bigger than their entire building several times over. So where are we? As I said, nearly 250,000 litres of soybeans in the store and 180,000 litres of wheat in the silo as well. So our £1.2 million loan is easily covered. We're already sitting over £1 million, so we only need to sell off the £200,000 worth. We have a whole load of feed. All the animals are good. This has been a great series. I have really enjoyed it. I hope you have too, and I'm hoping that we can bring this back to FS22. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and from here I will definitely see you in FS22, because that's Holme Wold done.